Hello, everyone. Today we wanted to talk about Lemurian crystals. Um, Please bear with me. I'm not a very good speaker. I'm kind of like, as Robert Plant says, I ramble on and I kind of get off focus sometimes. So Lemurians is a quartz that came forth back in the late 90s. And most of the information, really all the information that comes forth on Lemurians has been channeled from someone. It's not set in stone as far as it has scientific proof behind it. So one of the first people, if not the first person that channeled on this, was Katrina Raphael, which is a very respected person in the crystal and mineral world. And there's been a lot of people that have done this, and some amazing people who've done a lot of really wonderful work with Lemurians and brought forth information that they have been given. So back during the really around 1998, 97, 98 is when these started coming forth. And so the thing behind Lemurians is that they came here and they surfaced at this time, although they're millions or billions of years old, to help us in our up spiraling of our consciousness during this time of great shifts and changes. And I think we can all agree that we have been in that for the past close to 25, 30 years now. So when they were originally found, these are in Brazil, Diamantina mines in all in the area in the mountain range. They actually were not found in clusters like this. They were found as points that had been broken off in clusters. They found them laying flat. If you look at my fingers, laying flat in a sandy soil, not very deep originally. And my main supplier told me that when they found them, it's like, if you look at my fingers, it's like they were had been placed there beside each other. And as they continued to surface, that they surfaced in layers. This is just what I've been told. Okay. I really basically for 20 years, a little better than 20 years, have purchased most all of the Lemurians that I have from the same person. I do have two other people, and I have purchased from them, one of them for 20 years also, and the other one for many years. And so I feel like I have very good, reputable connections. And so the information that comes through from them has always seemed to be correct to me. So when talking about Lemurians, and I talk with people every single day about Lemurians. We've been here now for 17 years, and I feel like I'm more comfortable one-on-one speaking with people. But all I can tell you is how I interact with crystals. Everything that you read about a crystal, when people are telling you what they do or what they're good for and the meanings of this, has all been information that someone has channeled or someone has gotten in meditation. So always rely upon what your gut feeling is on crystals too. It's kind of with anything, trust yourself on this, because what's true for one person may not actually resonate with you. So for me, working with Lemurians now for 25 years, for me, they are very feminine. They are very compassionate, meaning that when you work with a Lemurian, they are really they're really heart-based. This is the way I feel about them. So when you have things that are challenges for you and you're seeking to find help with that, I feel like Lemurians have a very compassionate side that they allow you to move forward in your healing process as you are able to do that. It's kind of like if you look at the onion effect, all of the misqualified energy, what we bring into our bodies, misqualified. And then what happens is we run it through our heart and we create, my belief, situation, things within our body, disruptive things within our body and everything. And that's just part of life. But I feel like they're really good for helping us to kind of like an onion, just kind of unpeel those layers and work on things at our own pace as we can, because everybody's different. So they're all about compassion. It's kind of like having a great big hug from the feminine divine. She's soft, she's loving, she's mothering, she's nurturing. And I say she because Lemurian crystals to me are feminine. And if you look at the fact that if you're talking about Lemuria supposedly was, it was women. I mean, of course you had men and women, but I'm talking about it was more of a, women shamans, healers of this sort. And they worked with these crystals and they carried this wonderful ancient knowledge of just compassion, of oneness. Lemurians are all about the fact that we are one in this consciousness. And so they're always striving to help us in this oneness to have forgiveness and to come together is the way that I feel it and experience it. I believe they're really good to assist you in meditation. A lot of people say or feel like that they can reach higher states of consciousness or connection with the divine when they place Lemurians close to them or hold them during meditations. I actually like to hold Lemurians, and I will put them on my chest or I will lay them on my heart. A lot of times I will go to bed if I have something that I'm really trying to get some clarity on. I'll ask that they maybe assist me. And it doesn't mean that they're just going to, boom, give you the answer to anything. I'm sure some people get that, but I don't. They seem to create avenues for you to open up things that will help you in that process. Maybe dream state, things like this. They create situations where you'll come in contact with somebody and something they say will spark something, and you'll have maybe a distant memory or something, and that will start helping you to connect with things and to help you during that process. So I feel like they're very strong and loving and helping us to connect with people or places that will trigger us to remember, because really it's like they're trying to help us to remember the divine beings that we are and we have just forgotten over eons of time. And what a wonderful service that is. So when I am out in the world in shows and I am looking for crystals, I always, when I decide when I'm actually going to travel to these places, I always put out to the universe, this is where I'll be and when I'll be there. And any crystals that want to use points of light as the vehicle for them to get out in the world to find their person or their place of service. And also, if any of them wants to come into the gallery and just help to hold energy and share energy with people that come in here. And of course, any of them that want to come to me, I'm always happy for that too. And many have. So, and I've found that over the years, for me, I believe that really works. I think there's a lot of truth in that. So the one thing I have learned to say, though, is a lot of crystals will present themselves to me. And sometimes, even though I really have the desire to bring them back, sometimes it's not possible because they are a little further than what I can do at that time. But I have had crystals, quartz crystals, that have showed up in Lemurians too, that I have felt drawn to, that I really felt like was supposed to be here. And that same exact crystal has shown up to me 3 years later. And at that time, through things that had shifted in the industry was made possible for me to purchase at that time. So I've been very grateful for that. So another thing is, it is my own personal belief that the crystals find us. We think we go out and we find these crystals and we bring them back. It's just like my vet told me one time. I've always had German Shepherds. And my vet said, you think that you found Nikki and that you're her mother, but she thinks that you are hers and she's the protective one. Well, I really believe that crystals find us. I personally believe, and some people think I'm just full of it as a stuffed turkey, and some people don't, but I feel like crystals have a high intelligence. Just because we don't understand something doesn't mean that they are not, that they don't have more knowledge than we do. I feel like, crystals, they've stored this knowledge. They're ancient. Crystals and rocks are the bones of this planet. We are ancient. We're fairly new, but they're ancient. They carry the records of all time and everything on this planet. So I feel like they do find us, and they create the venues for us to come in contact with them so that they can help us. They're of service to us. What a wonderful thing this is. So I think that's a true blessing. So anyway, another thing about the Lemurians is, so supposedly, and I can't tell you a great deal about it. Most of you probably know this more than me, but Lemurian was supposed to have been a civilization that, saw its demise coming, and they were a very peaceful, loving, all about oneness, no harm to anyone. And when they saw this coming, they wanted to store that knowledge for the future, during this big shift to be shared with people. And so they imbued their knowledge into these crystals, or programmed these crystals with that knowledge. And this wasn't like it was happening the next day. They had time to do this and to decide where to place these crystals on the planet. The ones that first came out were in Brazil, and that's where the majority of them have been. There have been some from Russia. I've sat with some of them. I personally have not come in contact with very many of the Russians, but to me, I didn't have the same connection. Maybe that will change in the future. Colombia, I've had some beautiful Lemurians from Colombia. They look slightly different in the clarity. They're amazingly clear. But they're very wonderful tools, and they have always been, the ones I've come in contact have been much smaller. This is really a very large cluster. I mean, this cluster is about 53, 54 pounds. It's actually self-healed too on the back of it, and actually right here in the front. And self-healing is all about the self-healing that you personally are going through. And at this time, you've come in contact with this crystal to help you in that process. So, of course, this is a belief, but that's the way that I believe. Okay. So, anyway, they were put here and programmed to help us. And then there were lots of areas where they went to with these crystals, and they set up areas on the earth, such as Mount Shasta, Hawaii, different places like that created all this energy that has been recognized by people that really feel energy as sacred places here on earth. Not that the whole earth's not sacred, but places that people have really put a lot of intention into. And I feel like crystals are all about intentional living. It's being intentional in your thoughts, in your actions, your heart, and just bringing forth the love for this planet, for Mother Nature, and for all creation that's on it. And I think that Lemurians really can assist us in helping Mother Earth. I mean, after we're gone, I feel like she's still going to be here, you know. Looks like we're working really hard to destroy this planet. And it's happened before, I truly believe, but hopefully we're not going to do that this time. And I think that they're a venue to help us with that. So I'm grateful for how they help us expand our consciousness. So anyway, I guess I'm rambling again, you know, but there's been some interesting people too, you know. It's like, what was her name? Madame Blavatsky, that was from Russia. She did a lot of channeling. She actually did a book where she talked about Lemuria. She talked about the beings on Lemuria. She talked about the crystals. So that's something that, you know, I haven't truly read all of that, bits and pieces that, you know, some people would find interesting. But there's been a lot about that. So anyway, just what I can say is just opening your heart to these beings of light is just unbelievable. And whether or not you believe in Lemuria, you know, I don't think that it really matters. Some people do and some people don't. It's just the energy that they put forth. I mean, you know, they definitely have a signature type energy, and they definitely do put forth that compassion. And working with quartz, I'm primarily all about quartz. If you look around in the gallery, that's really what we're about. We carry other things, but I'm very grateful that I'm able to carry what really is dear to me and speaks to me. And so some crystals can be a little energetically pushy, I feel like, but Lemurians are always very soft and very compassionate. They want to help us in our step in our evolution. And I think they are truly a blessing in my life, and hopefully other people will experience that also. Another thing that I wanted to mention is always been very interesting because people come in, some people come in specifically because they're looking for Lemurians. And some people come in and they don't know what they're looking for. They just know that they're being called to a crystal, but they don't know what it is. And when people come in contact with Lemurians, they usually, we have many, and they usually will zone in on a couple, and very quickly usually will zone in on the one that feels like it is the one that wants to work with them. They're really like, to me, they're my family and my friends, and Lemurians become your best friends. And I have seen just so many people, I literally would say hundreds of people over the years that come in, they make contact with the one that they feel is it, and they fill with tears. And some people will just sit there and weep, and I totally understand that, because the feeling that they give you, they are such a heart feeling. They just present so much love to you that when you come in contact with them, you will know if that crystal is meant to be with you. There's just no denying it. You'll feel it. So thank you all so much for, for watching this video. I hope that there's something that will resonate with you. And like I said, always filter everything through your own heart. How does it feel to you? Do you resonate with this? Do you think this is true? Because, it can be different for everyone. So I hope in some way that you have enjoyed this and will connect with it. Blessings.